And welcome back to the Cataclysm Nebula. Last time you saw me fail this mission. With so much fail, I think a new world would have to be invented. And we all died. But now I invented time travel and we're back to do this the right way. To go back to the story, you remember the last set of cutscenes. We'll just save the Hiigaran carrier Kaltstow. And oh, we can build a module to research new armor technology now. Great. Something to build. And where was I? Ah yes, the story. So we saved the Kaltstow from beast attacks and then jump out. But this Kaltstow is still damaged, so we have to protect her still. So, the last mission was our first real on our own combat mission with lots of fighting. This mission is completely different. There's not much fighting to be done here, but a lot of stealth. We are supposed to stay here. There's not much we can do because we don't have the time to use our worker ships to mine resources. Bits and pieces where we can suck up the dust of the nebula itself, but it takes too much time and we are constantly harassed in this mission by scouts from that Titan base we have to scout out for ourselves. Something we don't do right now because first off I reposition our command ship, the Kunlan, a bit. Then I do my best to do this mission as fast as possible because this is actually the third time. Because after my failure I did this a second time and Welp, it turns out I just thought I recorded it, but in truth I got settled with a large lump of completely useless and broken data. An unusable file. So I had to do it a third time. Ah yeah, third time's the charm. By now I already know everything the mission can throw at me, so I can a bit more freely use the time compression. So the mission gets a bit faster done. And well, what else is to do? Well, the Cataclysm Nebula, first off, an energy shield can now be researched. So, back to the story. We are here now in the Cataclysm Nebula, a dark nebula with a dust density high enough that turns all our sensors and the enemy sensors to crap. Because of this, enemy scouts have to literally stumble upon our main ships to find us, but you already saw in the last video what happens if you don't notice them fast enough, because when they won't just attack. Nope, the small scouting patrols will see you, you will get a warning signal, you get to hear this later on again. Then they will turn back to the base, and as soon as they have alerted the base to our presence here, a shitload of combat ships and capital ships will descend on us. Frigates and destroyers mostly, but more than enough to utterly destroy us, because this mission is the first mission where we actually get to build our own first combat frigates. Ramming frigates don't really count. They can damage a target, then they are shoving it away, but it's not much, really. But we can build this mission. It's actually a quite good frigate, but, well, there's not much to use it on. It's pretty much overkill for smaller units. And now we destroy the first scout. Squadron here. Ah, yes. A few nice explosions later, and we're done. Sadly, this won't be the last time we have seen them in this mission. The mission itself is, beyond all the little goals you have to achieve, deceptively easy. You just have to scout the way for the Kaltstone and then protect it with the command ship. Something to remember, and something I completely forgot this time around. If you scout too far ahead, then the entire fleet, the Kaltstone and our command ship combined, will just completely obliviously to every possible trap, ground on and on and on. The only thing which makes them stop is mines. But, well, we get to that later. Now I'm fiddling a bit around with my working ships to get a little bit of extra resources, mostly because at this point I forget for a short time that I have already played and finished this mission several times over, so since I'm only replaying it and the other missions are actually done at this point, the next few at least, I'm completely wasting my time. Because of course, since I'm already 3 missions farther along the way, I don't actually need the fleet I have in this mission. The funny thing is, I actually end up in a better shape at the end, even though I make even more fuck-ups this time. At least they aren't fatal. So, the cloud of darkness has to be crossed, and well, let's get on with this. Now we are practically prepared, and I can use my little scout to try to get closer to the base and see what happens. I think I forgot something. Oh yes, I completely forgot to mention, not all sensors are crap, as you saw on the sensor screen. Scouts have still fully functional sensors, or better to say, their sensor suites are strong enough to penetrate the dark cloud, the nebula of bad stuff. And because of this, we have to rely on scouts in this mission, and then stealthily creep away without doing much fighting at all. On my count, I think this is the second mission in a row where we play escort. At least this time we only have to rally protect a ship instead of protect a ship, then fail automatically, then protect another ship. Like the last mission did. No double crossing here and here, my first fuck up. We notice a minefield ahead, but I moved the scout far too late, and while trying to pass the enemy scouts, they close with my scout and wipe out. Kind of sad. And there she's gone. At least this time around I lose only a couple of scouts. Scouts, yes. Instead of entire fleets like in my second try around. Well, at least this will be done faster this time. Now I have 8 Vario fighters here, because there are a small group of mine layers ahead, and I really don't want them to lay more mines. Nope, instead we're gonna visit them and because I already lost the scout, don't want to lose another. Spoiler, I still lose scouts later on. I instead sent one of my cloaked fighters. While your fighter will visit it, he will have to go a lot closer, get a lot closer to the base, but at least this time I won't forget enemy scouting operations, and the fighter will actually survive. Well, until I just throw his life away in a suicide mission, but well, that's how it goes in war. Now I can demonstrate why I research energy shields, because the little nifty Guardian ships you can build, and I think some other similar ships existed in the first Homeworld game too. This Homeworld game, Guardian drones are, well, not drones really, there's still a pilot inside, but they're small enough to be drones. Let's call them Guardian ships. In German they are just Wächter-Einheiten. Wächter. Those little ships have little guns to defend a larger ship, but they can also... Oh, the base.
Die Karl Stoh braucht unsere Hilfe, um die Dunkelwolke zu durchqueren. Hier sind unsere Navigationskoordinatenberechnungen für den Sektor. Die Signale der Dunkelwolke stören sämtliche Sensoren mit Ausnahme der Aufklärerortungsgeräte. Setzen Sie Aufklärer ein, um die NAV-Punkte für die Karl Stoh zu setzen.
Antrieb einschalten.
This essentially was just a repeat of what I've said earlier in the mission.
Brücke.
This again was something I've already told you about, and you got a nice look at a full squadron of 12 Guardian units creating an energy shield around your command ship. Later on I will use more Guardian units to protect all my large vessels, like heavy cruisers and carriers. The class 1 shields we have now are actually not that strong, but well, every bit counts, and they can neutralize a few shots at least. Later on we get stronger shields, strong enough to actually withstand some punishment, but right now we have to just be content with something neat, lucky, but quite feeble. Now, what we are supposed to do, I repeat, is take recon units and send our little reconnaissance woman to every single navigation point to make sure the way is cleared and we'll send Karl Stoh and our command ships on our way. And as I said, I totally forgot, both groups actually move automatically if there's nothing in the way. But now we have to destroy another scouting group. Or if we ignore the ships, another chance to be completely and utterly destroyed. Funny thing is, I don't think the scouts have even noticed our group, which of course means we can decimate them from behind. This is why the element of surprise can be incredibly devastating in this game. In later missions I will sometimes try to attack from below or above, because As long as enemy units will notice you, they won't swing around to fight you, which means they only start reacting if after you opened fire. And complete surprise can mean,
Befehl lautet Delta-Formation einnehmen.
well, a lot, because you can,
Aufklärer
for
einsatzbereit.
example, wipe out most
Leitstelle.
defending fighters and corvettes in one go if you get lucky with a
Koordinaten
good first
eingestellt.
strike. Also
Ich brauche
good
nur den Befehl.
if you want to do missile strikes. It's of course even better who gets this element of surprise on your side, because if the enemy can swing around to meet your strike craft attack,
Aufklärer
then
einsatzbereit.
obviously he will
Ich bin hier, Floko.
wreck your shit.
Schon unterwegs.
A bit faster now. Of course, I keep forgetting some units. I have, at this point, I almost forgotten the refinery ship, and there are still some worker ships I have left flying around on
Hier Arbeitsschiff.
duty. And for some reason, this
Und los.
little spot refuses to be scouted.
Wo soll's hingehen?
Mystery, bug, who knows? Since we are already on our way to the next nav point, this isn't really important right now, so we can just get on with the mission. So, we're
Hier
still
Leitstelle.
moving through the mission. Nothing to research right now. I'll try to collect the ships
Jawohl,
I've
Floko.
forgotten about,
Triebwerke auf Energie. Arbeitsschiff.
and I finally find the
Variojäger bereit.
mine layers again. Since mines in Homeworld can move around like homing torpedoes, mine layers are always a
Okay,
nasty
packen zusammen und
surprise.
machen uns auf den Weg.
In Bereitschaft.
Luckily, those ships won't react to us since we are
Variojäger bereit.
cloaked as Thailand fighters. So we can just set 2 of each ship. 2 for each mine layer corvette.
Verstanden. Ziel erfasst. Ich bin hier, Floko. Angriff
Generally,
läuft.
2 Vario fighters are needed to destroy one corvette, as we remember. With an upgrade, later
Hier
upgrade,
Variojäger.
we get in another mission, we'll
Variojäger bereit.
only need one of them.
Waffen
From then
aufgeladen.
on, to destroy a corvette.
Verstanden.
And
Ich bin hier,
the
Floko.
Vario corvettes.
Nähern
Oh,
uns feindlichen
I think
Einheiten.
we found a glitch. Looks they don't want to destroy each other.
Hier Variojäger.
Oh, this is not good.
Hier Variojäger.
Ah, okay. I have untangled the
Ich bin hier, Floko.
quantum
Ziel erfasst.
disturbance at this point.
In Bereitschaft.
Unterwegs zu
Let's try this
Zielkoordinaten. Verstanden.
Ah, now
Nähern
it.
uns feindlichen Einheiten.
Now the confused fighters are just sitting around doing nothing,
Auf Empfang.
and we're still on our way.
Halten Position.
Karl Stoh. Es befinden sich immer noch Minen auf Ihrem Kurs. Bleiben Sie
This
auf
is the one
Position, bis wir sie
we'll
geräumt haben.
send to the Kalsto every time there are mines ahead. The funny thing is... Ah yes, this was the signal. From as soon
Die
as we hear this
Italienaufklärer haben die Karlstuhl
sound
entdeckt.
and
Zerstören
the
Sie sie,
warning from
bevor Sie
our
Ihre Basis über unsere Anwesenheit
core
informieren
technical
können.
control center, the scouts will make a beeline from the enemy base, and when they can reach it,
Wir müssen zusätzliche
let's
Militärschiffe
just
bauen.
say,
Unsere Ingenieure glauben,
bad
sie
times
könnten
will
die
happen.
Antriebsaggregate für
So
schwere
here we are
Schleppschiffe
breaking the
verändern,
mines.
um sie in
Ah yes,
Militärfregatten
mines.
einzubauen.
Because the mines can
Dieser
move,
Fregattenantrieb
you
kann
can
jetzt erforscht
actually
werden.
get in a situation where you think you have cleared the mines array,
Ja?
but because your carrier and your command ships are quite large,
Jawohl, Floko, sind
you can
unterwegs.
actually accidentally attract other mines from the beaten path, which will make them most likely a beeline for the Karlsturm, because she flies ahead of you and try to ram
Ziel im
her.
Visier.
Now we're finally allowed to research the frigate
Beginnen mit
drive,
Forschung.
which means we'll soon be able to build actual frigates instead of just an oversized tug.
Roger, Floko.
Again, the way is cleared. We have practically reached one of the enough points.
Okay.
After this, only two remain. Now I send the recon ship forward to make the point officially cleared. And new units are getting closer. And of course there's still the little blocking force ahead. Still nothing much, but as always we have to destroy them. Because if the AI of the small blocking force suddenly wakes up, it will of course
Eingestellt.
try to alert the base.
Bereit zum
Generally, you'll often get in this mission the weird situation where if you get attacked by several scouting forces, one of them will stay and fight, and the other one
Unterwegs zu
will
Zielkoordinaten.
just run away. This of course means if you concentrate on one of them, then the other will possibly get away. Another trap if you're someone who doesn't use too much, not enough strike craft.
Leitstelle.
This mission, luckily, since we can't have many frigates, we can have lots of strike craft,
Auf Empfang.
and this mission is actually
Koordinaten
something
eingestellt.
I only noticed in hindsight, since the mission depends on fast and small strike craft. It practically entices you to build a lot of them, and in the
Arbeitsschiffbereit.
next mission
Habe verstanden, Floko.
we actually need a lot of small fast ships. So
Voller Schub.
as long as you make sure to get every single scout, this mission is actually quite
Befehl
easy.
lautet Delta-Formation einnehmen.
And if you are smart and build enough small strike ships to
Waffen aufgeladen.
defend yourself while you are slowly marching through the cloud, that is a dust cloud, then you will have exactly the right fleet composition for the next mission, which is quite nice, I suppose. If you are someone who likes frigates, then it's easy to completely fuck yourself over by building too many
Roger, Floko. Können Sie
frigates in
lauter
this
sprechen?
mission.
Aufbereitungsschiff unterwegs. Auf Empfang. Bereit.
Now I sent the little group of corvettes I have
Auf
forward
dem Weg.
just to clear the blocking force. And I make sure my small acolyte fighters can actually protect the rest of the
Roger,
fleet
Loco.
if enemy scouts find us again.
Ziel im Visier.
Yes, this actually looks dramatic, but
Forschung
since
abgeschlossen.
the enemy fighters
Kann jetzt gebaut
just
werden.
woke up, we got a few free shots. No, we have already destroyed most of them. And it doesn't look like those two will survive long. Nope, they were destroyed. But still, one of my comments got a little damage. So I suppose I should use my worker ships, since there's nothing much else to do for them on this mission. And yes, there are still more nav points to find. So reposition 50 units, I keep forgetting.
Unterwegs zu Zielkoordinaten. Habe verstanden, Floko.
Well, that's mostly it. There is really not much to say in this mission.
Nur den Befehl.
So let's repair
Koordinaten eingestellt.
of it. Done.
Arbeitsschiff wurde vernichtet. Produktion der Schwarmfregatte wird aufgenommen.
Everything back to
Greife jetzt
the
an.
tasks. And onward to the second. Ah, there's another nav point. I guess we have to do
Koordinaten eingestellt.
In Bereitschaft, Gruppe 2.
this a bit longer than I thought. And of course, more mines.
Und los.
We have cleared the nav point, but I lost the scout. Well, no.
Koordinaten eingestellt.
At least in this mission I finally, after three tries, learned how to properly clear mines.
Ja?
Using fast ships is indeed
In
possible.
Bereitschaft, Gruppe
It's
2.
just you
Eskorte zugewiesen.
Aufklärer einsatzbereit.
get utterly destroyed if you're not careful.
Schon auf dem Weg, Floko.
Always
In
quite
Bereitschaft.
clumsy with those things.
Unterwegs zu
So I had not
Zielkoordinaten.
much luck until today. I noticed this, that if I give the order to clear mines and
Hier Aufbereitungsschiff.
think about micromanaging the
Roger.
smaller
Bringen
ships
den
up
Laden
to
an neue
the
Position.
point where
Navigationspunkt okay.
I won't just let them float around for other mines to hit them.
In
Everything
Bereitschaft.
is fine. Well, except sometimes you just get unlucky, but
Auf dem Weg.
at least fighters are rather cheap.
Produktion läuft.
Our fleet is still moving forward,
Produktion der
trying to
Schwarmfregatte
find...
abgeschlossen.
Ah, there is a mine. Mines can only target by missiles or by indirect attacks, as you saw. Just
Koordinaten
clicking on
eingestellt.
them doesn't work. But if you have enough small ships, then you can destroy them. Don't try this with corvettes, though. Corvettes are just slow enough to get fragged by mines. Small strike craft are the best,
Und los.
since mines don't survive many hits. Just make sure you
Schiffe
actually
werden
have
jetzt
enough
gestartet.
fighters to destroy them in one pass, because if you
In
get
Bereitschaft.
attacked by a lot of mines, then you have to whittle them down
Koordinaten
fast,
eingestellt.
really fast, or because sooner or later your luck will run out and mines will start to hit.
Ziel erfasst.
And as soon as multiple mining explosions rage through your strikecraft squadrons, let's just say
Schlachtschiff hat abgelegt.
we will soon need new strikecraft.
Hier
Now I am
Leitstelle.
extra careful and build another squadron just in case,
In den
because it
Nullmoment
would be really
Roger,
stupid
Floko,
if I
können Sie
lose my
lauter sprechen?
squadron
Okay,
during
packen zusammen und machen uns
Mein-
auf den Weg.
In Bereitschaft.
during a
Auf dem
mine
Weg.
clearance duty or oh god, I think I completely fucked this up. Well, English second language for the win or whatever. New scouts. thanks to the research frigate
In Bereitschaft.
drive and thanks to the microship research we did to get Guardian units, we can now build drone frigates. In this game they are called swarm frigates.
Beginnen mit Produktion.
Actually they work a bit different than in Homeworld 1. Swarm frigates are essentially
Nur den Befehl.
carriers.
Schon auf
Every
dem Weg, Loco.
swarm frigate has 6 drones that can launch like a mini carrier, launching mini strike craft, and those drones are hard to
Ihr
hit
Aufbereitungsschiff.
and can do an astonishing amount of damage.
In Bereitschaft.
To show you what I mean,
Bereit für Action.
well, let me explain.
Schon auf dem Weg, Loco.
According to the
In
manual,
Bereitschaft.
Acolyte fighter has a firepower of 70 points. Something close to that. Corvette,
Die
essentially just 2 fighters coupled together,
Zerstören Sie sie, bevor
has a
Sie
firepower
Ihre
of
Basis über unsere
around
Anwesenheit
170
informieren können.
points. Now,
Koordinaten eingestellt.
the Swarm Frigate has a firepower of let me check real fast.
In den 0, nichts da.
Okay, looks like I was completely wrong. Let's start with our little recon ships. A recon fighter has a firepower of 40. The Acolyte or Vassal fighter has a firepower of 85. If you couple 2 of them together to get one of our little corvettes, then you
Navigationspunkt
get
okay.
the Rächer-Klasse. What the hell was that again in English? Oh,
Koordinaten eingestellt.
I suppose it would be something like Vigilante class or something. Well, here was right. Firepower 170.
In
And
Bereitschaft.
the next step up,
Auf dem Weg.
our drone frigate, the Swarm class, or Swarm frigate, has a firepower of 1400, which is almost 10 times as much as our little corvettes.
Loco.
So essentially,
In Bereitschaft. Gruppe 2.
if you use the drones and the main guns of the frigate together, then you
Eskorte
can
zugewiesen.
lay waste to every smaller ship you can find.
Koordinaten
For
eingestellt.
comparisons, a Guardian unit has a firepower of 290,
Ziel im Visier.
which means together with its shield, it's practically the ideal defense for larger ships. Now, later on, we will get ships with even more firepower, and
Roger. Bringen den Laden
just
an neue
so
Position.
we are on the same page
Bereit für
here,
Action.
our refinery ship
Schon auf dem Weg, Loco.
can have a firepower of
In
2500,
Bereitschaft.
so roughly 1.5 swarm frigates,
Auf dem Weg.
if it's upgraded to maximum firepower. Well, but that's that. There's still many ships to research and
Wartet
many
auf Befehle, Loco.
upgrades to find. Let's just get on with this, shall we? So our new swarm frigates are finished. And the last 2 times I played through this mission, I had nothing to do for them. Well, you saw how the first drive ended, and in the second time, and during the second trial, I had simply nothing to shoot with them. They were meant for a larger
Ich
mission,
brauche nur den Befehl.
and you will
In den 0,
be
nichts da.
afraid to hear that I'm fucking up in the next mission even worse. But we'll get to this. Now we have found something interesting blocking our way.
Direkt vor dem Zugang in die Dunkelwolke. Versperrt uns den Weg.
Wir müssen den Kreuzer irgendwie zerstören. Er hat genug Feuerkraft, um uns ganz allein zu vernichten. Unsere Technikabteilung glaubt jedoch, ein Mikroschiff der Zeckenklasse bauen zu können. Dieses Mikroschiff soll in der Lage sein, sich an den Kreuzer heranzuschleichen und ihn zu zerstören. Ein Forschungsprojekt zur Weiterentwicklung unserer Langstrecken-Drohnentechnologie kann auf Ihren Befehl hin sofort gestartet werden. Navigationspunkt okay.
So, here's the deal. Heavy cruiser is quite accidentally blocking the way out of the cloud, of the dark nebula, or dark cloud as it is called in German, DUNKELWOLKE, which essentially just means a dark nebula. Now we can research something called multi-level telemetry. Oh god, translating is hard. Time skip. Now, at this point it gets a little harder. Now we'll get attacked by 2 scouting squadrons simultaneously, and we still have to deal with the heavy cruiser. Now, after we finish research, we'll be able to build a ship class called the Tick. Ticks are large drones, and we can use them to literally stealthily eat enemy ships from inside out. A Tick just latches onto a capital ship, then overrides its repair mechanism and starts slowly cutting it open from the inside. You can even use a Tick to steal resources from an enemy fleet, which, well, even with a lot of ticks, it takes a lot of time, but I guess if you're, for some reason, fucking up even worse than I do, and end up in a mission with not enough resources, you could theoretically build a shitload of cheap ticks, and then eat some enemy heavy cruisers and carriers to get the resources you need. Of course, this will be even slower than just destroying the ships, because you have to fill them up with resources, cut out of the ships, the enemy ships. Then you have to wait until the ticks are back to your fleet, to unload the resources. Then they have to do it all over again. But I guess in an emergency, or if you want to be an asshole, it's a nice extra option. In this mission we'll just learn how to do this by being ordered to build some of them. And quite funny, the first time I played this mission I ever played this mission, I took the messages quite literally and built just one tick drone. Then I set this little drone on the enemy cruiser and waited for an eternity until the single tick finally destroyed the heavy cruiser. Now I'm a bit smarter, so I build everything I can build, 7. So said eternity will be a bit smaller than the first time. Interesting to note, during my failed one I had something like 4 or 5 ticks and never got to use them because, as you saw, I fucked up and died. During the third time I had 6 ticks and actually got so impatient with a moment. Still a bit rest cold. And where was I? Ah, yes. I got so impatient during my
Roger, Flugpunkt.
eradicated successful
Schiffe werden zu
run.
Gruppe 1 hinzugefügt.
I
Befehl lautet
kind of missed
Klarformation
one of the
einnehmen.
last scouting runs at me.
In
So I
Bereitschaft, Gruppe 2.
got a bit surprised because after I destroyed the enemy cruiser and mopped up his little defense units, I suddenly got attacked by the main enemy fleet turning up out of nowhere, just as I was preparing to jump out of the dark cloud. Now what happened, I suppose, is I missed one of the scouting runs at me,
Roger, Flugko, kann es Ihnen
and
aussprechen. Aufbereitungsschiff
because I
unterwegs.
used time skip, you see,
In Bereitschaft.
and I nearly fucked up and died right then again. In a sense of hilarious irony, then, of course, as I told you, my entire record of this mission was corrupted, and so you never got to see me getting kicked in the ass again. Too bad.
Schiffe
Now the
werden
irony
jetzt
is,
gestartet.
in this mission I fuck up in another bad way, but for some reason this time
Hier
I'm
Leitstelle.
lucky enough to survive this, I hope. As you can see, at this point I finally learned that when you scout every single nav beacon on your way,
Brücke.
then your fleet will simply automatically try to fly to them. Which is quite funny because you got warned that a heavy cruiser is blocking your way, but apparently as soon as you scout the nav beacon, your command center just says fuck it and tries to make a run for it
Gruppe 2.
anyway. So what I'm doing right now is I use my worker ships to protect the Karlstow, set the 7
Gruppe 5.
ticks on the heavy cruiser just in case my fleet isn't able to destroy it.
In Bereitschaft.
Then I'll just have to deal with it because we can't finish the mission before the heavy cruiser is destroyed. On the other hand, it can also be that the destruction of the heavy cruiser triggers a mass attack of every single unit left on the map. Enemy unit, of course.
Arbeitsschiff wurde vernichtet.
Which could be the reason for why I never noticed the scout run the second try. Could be. I'm full of shit here. Well, ticks work, yes. Now I'm doing something stupid by accidentally ordering them off, so I have to order them back on again. This is of course similar to my second run through this mission, where I accidentally ordered them to just fill their little bellies with resources,
Kommandoschiff ist
instead of
unterwegs.
just canalizing everything out into deep space. But I guess this is everything quite irrelevant now, since everything works. So now I'm concentrating on the Karlstow, since our command ship can take better punishment. And now I'm ordering all ships I have into attack range.
In Bereitschaft.
First off, the ramming frigates. 2 ramming frigates are already enough to move a heavy cruiser away. And while that happens, I'll order my sizable group of strike craft to launch a massive missile strike.
Hauptflottenverband wechselt Position.
As you can see, the heavy cruiser has already destroyed
In Bereitschaft.
most of my Guardian units, but who knows how much worse the situation would be if I hadn't had that energy shield protecting me. especially since the heavy cruiser wandered around my ship. Got even farther, of course. You got to hit several parts, and now the heavy cruiser is already a bit damaged, but he somehow survived 21 missile strikes and the punishment of 2 swarm frigates at the same time. So what I'm trying to do now is capturing the ship. Not that it would bring much, since I would have to replay the other missions too, and fuck this if I wanted to use it. So now we get no fancy voice, but we get the news that the Karlstow is ready to leave. They found some kind of dimensional gate, can use it to jump out of the dark cloud, and then they will leave the Cardian Nebula for good. We, on the other hand, still have to destroy the pesky heavy cruiser in our midst. And then we can go. So let's try and see if our worker frigates can do something about this. And holy shit, moving my ship around actually worked. Sadly, our energy ship. Oh! Looks like the 7 ticks did more damage than I thought. And the best part is, regardless of we are still scouted out, or if the base orders general attack now, we are essentially done. No enemy is close enough to stop us from just fast stocking everything, so I guess we can't look what the Karlstow is doing over there. So, time compression.
Auf dem Weg. An alle Schiffe. Durchstoßen Sie die Grenze der Dunkelwolke auf mein Kommando.
Just
Wir haben
making
es
sure.
geschafft. Die Karlstow ist in Sicherheit. Hier Leitstelle.
Yes, yes, we have done it. Karlstow left. We can jump out. Of course, we have still all these little ships, but this time I just speed them up. Since no one is near us, we can just do a fast dock, and after everything is done, we are jumping out. Third time is the charm. We are done with this mission.
Die Daten der fremden Kapsel zu übersetzen. Sie wurde von einem fremden Forschungsschiff namens Nagarok ausgeschickt. Die Telemetriedaten deuten darauf hin, dass die Nagarok vor ungefähr 1 Million Jahre in unsere Galaxis kam. Sie benutzte einen experimentellen Hyperraumantrieb von außerordentlicher Stärke. Der folgende Abschnitt ist noch nicht klar, aber die Bildinformationen deuten darauf hin, dass das fremde Schiff im Hyperraum auf eine Lebensform gestoßen sein könnte. Diese Lebensform bezeichnen wir als die Bestie. Die fremden Forscher erkannten sofort, worum es sich handelte und wie gefährlich die Zerstörungskraft dieses Wesens wäre, wenn man es freisetzen würde. Sie versuchten es an Bord ihres eigenen Schiffes einzuschließen, indem sie alle Antriebsaggregate und Kommunikationseinrichtungen zerstörten. Wahrscheinlich wartet die ursprüngliche Bestie immer noch da draußen, gefangen in der Nagarok. Leider wurde das Opfer der fremden Forscher durch ihre eigene Technologie zunichte gemacht. Als die Triebwerke zerstört wurden, aktivierte sich eine Notrufautomatik, die ihrerseits eine Funksonde freisetzte. Und diese Sonde trug eine kleine Menge der Bestie in sich.
Danke für den Begleitschutz, Kulan. Unser Antrieb ist wieder einsatzbereit und wir haben all Ihre Daten über die Bestie. Suchen Sie sich erstmal ein sicheres Plätzchen und wir kehren mit den Krieger-Kites zurück, um dieser Seuche ein Ende zu bereiten. Karl Stoh, Ende.
So now it looks the Karl Stoh can warn the rest of Hiigaran and our allies what is happening. Looks our little intergalactic friend, the beast, can now be stopped. So, will the Somtaaw go
Wir
back to
empfangen einen
mining?
Notruf.
Let's see.
Es handelt sich um
Now we are
Taidan-Republikaner.
outside.
Es sind Verbündete.
Canadian
Übersetzung
Nebula.
kommt sofort.
Die Daten der Langstreckensensoren deuten darauf
And
hin,
of course,
dass die Signale
immediately
von einem
the shit
großen
hits the fan
Schiffsverband
again.
in diesem Sektor stammen.
We get an emergency message from our friends, the tiny Republicans.
Unbekannten Raketen angegriffen, haben unsere Begleitschiffe verloren und sind selbst unbewaffnet. Bitte helfen Sie uns! Wir haben tausende Kolonisten an Bord. Bitte! Wir brauchen Hilfe!
Wir können diesen Notruf nicht ignorieren. Schicken Sie einen Aufklärerverband.
Unknown missiles attack colony ships. I guess we'll have to go and help them now. Well, until next mission. Libluini out.